Alright guys, so we just played Kirby and the Forgotten Lands demo, not the full game. Full game's not out yet.
And I actually played it for the second time.
That's true. We played it multiplayer here, and then we recorded our footage using the left Joy-Con. So you're going to be watching that on screen while we talk and just give our impressions and stuff. Ignore that it's kind of garbage. We don't have a capture card.
Yet.
Yet. It's planned, maybe one day, whatever. Anyway, Jacob, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, this game seems pretty cool.
It's really fun. I had a blast playing through it like my first time, and then when we just played co-op a few moments ago, that was really fun.
It was awesome. I watched the trailer for this game initially when it came out, was kind of like, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool, like, I'm into it, but I don't play a lot of Kirby. We played Star Allies together. I don't think either of us were super impressed by that game.
No, it was pretty much Kirby by the numbers as it's been for the past however many years, 30 now.
Which is fine, like, Kirby's fun, but, I mean, this is something else, right?
Yeah, no, this is a whole another dimension, you could say.
It really is, and it's cool. Like we get to make Kirby run around, and there's just so much little happiness in seeing him jump, and he sucks at the enemies. You'll see in this footage, like I was playing as Kirby. Half of it, I just suck something up, and I'm just walking around all chubby, and it's just making me smile.
He is a big chonker.
I love it. I really want to just see the mouthful mode stuff.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of cool different ones, and it's really cool because it like shakes up the gameplay, but it doesn't like get rid of your power, and it doesn't feel like it stays too long, at least in the first few levels that we played.
Yeah, they're really funny too. Like just getting the car, I don't know, it's kind of like the wheelie bike in previous Kirby games. It's satisfying to control, and it's simple, but it just works.
Yes.
It really does, and I'm curious to see what more they'll do. They showed at the end of the trailer there's like a roller coaster mouthful mode thing.
Oh, that looks cool. That looks like that roller coaster moment in Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, well, that was pretty bad in Mario Sunshine.
But
in Kirby, I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, no, it looks really cool. And even some of the like I guess more bland mouthful modes, like the cone one.
The cone, yeah.
Didn't like really slow down Kirby's movement at all.
No,
like, none of them really seem to hinder his base movement, despite the fact that he can't really jump.
Yeah, he still walks fast, so like you don't really feel restricted, even though I guess you kind of are in a way. This is something, I guess this is going to draw a lot of parallels to Mario Odyssey, right? Because the capture mechanic is very similar to the mouthful mode, or just Kirby's copying in general. But in Mario Odyssey, most of the captures you get severely restrict Mario's jumps, his speed, everything. I think Kirby does it way better. I think Kirby is like what Mario's capture mechanic should have been, and that makes me really excited.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of parallels you can draw between Forgotten Land and Odyssey, just with, I don't know, I feel like the whole, when Kirby lands on the beach, and then he walks in towards the island, and then at one moment he goes into like the abandoned city, and the music starts to like swell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really like dynamic and like cinematic and like really cool. I feel like Odyssey had a lot of that.
Definitely.
So
similar environments too.
Right.
Like we have now this cityscape for Kirby, which I'm not like the biggest Kirby fan. I don't know if he's done a lot of city stuff. He must have done some, right? I mean, he's been around so long.
City Trial?
Yes, well, City Trial, but that's Kirby Air Ride, so that's very different. But like Mario is going in New Donk City, and that's like a big deal for Mario, right? This feels like an equally big deal for Kirby, and that's really exciting. With Kirby, we don't see him experiment much at all.
No, that's the whole thing. People have been asking for years for Kirby just to shake up somehow. Whether people were calling for like a Kirby RPG or finally to go into 3D, and here they've done it.
Yeah, I think this is probably the perfect thing for Nintendo to be doing here. I was saying I was not really blown away by this game when it was initially revealed. I thought it was a cool thing, but after playing this demo, I think I want to buy it and I want to play it all the way through. I really liked this.
Yeah, no, it was really fun, especially to play in co-op together.
Definitely. That's how we're going to do it when we get it.
Yeah.
Now, you played through the game already, right? That was your second playthrough with me.
Right.
And in the first playthrough, I understand you have weakened powers, and we had better powers when we played because you had already beaten the demo.
Yes, when you beat the demo, you unlock access to evolve power abilities. So like the bomb power up had I forgot exactly what it was called, but I think it was an electric bomb combination where you throw bombs and they create this electric chain that can hit enemies if they walk into
Like
it.
a wider range attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a big sword instead of a regular sword, and then the ice creates little seal snowmen.
Oh, they weren't in the regular ice power?
No.
Okay, so how do you feel about the upgraded powers? Do they feel like worthwhile upgrades to you?
I like the bomb one a lot. The sword one, it's pretty nice because you do have to sort of respect your spacing with respect to where enemies are. Because there's like a dash attack that you can do if you guard and press A at the same time. But even if you like dash straight into them with like a sword or a spear, where Kirby has the sword straight out in front of him, if you like don't space well enough, you'll just run into them and get hit. So the sword helps with that. And the ice, I didn't really find too fun.
It's cool that he skates, though.
Yeah, it's cool. And he looks really cute with the hat.
I love the hat. It's very good.
Yeah, and then the cutter ability just gives you double cutter.
Which
so,
type?
Yeah.
That's cool.
From the ones that they've shown off in like some of the other trailers and stuff, there's like a dragon
With the fire,
with
yeah.
the fire that lets you fly. So I think there's some like really cool ones, and I'm really excited because I loved Kirby 64. This seems like it's going to be a really fun mechanic evolving your power abilities. So
Now, with the sword thing, I didn't notice this while we were playing, but you're saying there's some kind of tech here, like hidden attacks you can be doing?
yeah, so if you like run and crouch and press A, he does like a charge attack where he sticks the sword out in front of him.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's like charge attacks you can do, and maybe like aerial charge attacks.
Did you notice that for anything other than the sword power up?
I was playing as Waddle Dee or Bandana Dee, and if you charge B but don't press a direction, he does his little helicopter spear move. Where he flies. But if you are holding a direction, he will throw multiple spears depending where you're aiming at.
Interesting.
So yeah, like Kirby has a lot of that. Like a lot of the games have secret moves that you that you can use.
Yeah, Superstar Ultra, which I played the most of, has like a ton of that stuff.
Yeah.
So does that mean we're gonna see a lot of cool hidden stuff? Are all of the powers gonna have hidden attacks they can do and stuff?
Well, I think a lot. Like I played Triple Deluxe, and pretty much every ability has a bunch of different moves that you can use. And I think it tells you if you go to the pause menu. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was worried that things would seem like a little simple, but Kirby kind of gets around that because usually they offer you new powers so regularly, so as soon as one gets stale, you ditch it for a new one. And that was the case here with both powers and mouthful mode, which changes the way you attack as well. I think that these were used in some really clever ways too. I really liked with the cone mouthful mode, you can attack the enemies that have the big rocks on their back, I guess.
Right, yeah.
And they had this one really neat part where the cone was tied up in some vines, and you have to find out how to get that cone. So you have to like go over and around from where you see it, explore the level a little bit, get the cutter ability, and then you can slash down the cone. And then you can use mouthful mode on the cone, and then destroy the enemy, because you've already been taught at that point that the enemy is like weak to it. Or maybe that was the first enemy that is weak to the cone, but it like very clearly has a crack in the rock in its back, so you know right away to destroy it with the cone. And I love that this game, differently from past Kirby games where it was very linear, like get to the goal style levels, this one has a lot more exploration, and I love to see that they're taking advantage of what the 3D can offer.
Yeah, there's a ton, and the things that you can find seem like they're going to be worthwhile because there's missions that you can complete, and if you complete each mission within a level, you get like another Waddle Dee that's saved and brought to the village, I guess, in the full game, and that will unlock a lot of different things you can do in like the Waddle Dee town. So that's like a really cool incentive to explore and complete those missions. There's like a mission where you find like 5 different tulips by just exploring around the level and doing different things with copy abilities and mouthful mode. So that was pretty fun. I did that for the second level, and that was pretty cool. So
what is the Waddle Dee town gonna offer, do you think? Because we know it's gonna have like upgrades, and I think the trailer showed a fishing minigame, which it appears is even multiplayer because we saw Bandana Dee kind of fish in there with Kirby.
right.
So do you think that's all we should expect? Just upgrades and like maybe a few kind of, I mean, that seemed like a pretty simple minigame. Do you think we should expect anything more substantial?
I don't really know. I'm not really sure. I don't know if there's like I'm trying to think of like what the village looked like in other trailers. I know at one point
It has a few buildings, I think, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not just one.
and I think Kirby's at a Coliseum at one point. I don't know if that's story based because like Meta Knight shows up. I think that might have been a building in the town. I can't really remember.
It could be like a boss rush mode too. Kirby usually has boss rushes.
Yeah.
So I guess we don't know what to expect there. But what you touched on there with Meta Knight, let's talk about this story a little bit, because we got Meta Knight and King Dedede looking like they're possessed or something, or at least King Dedede definitely did. Meta Knight, it's a little bit harder to see his eyes and stuff because he's got the mask and all.
Yeah, no, I think Meta Knight seemed pretty normal. I think they were just fighting in a coliseum.
I mean, he really,
reasons.
yeah, he just fights because he can.
Yeah.
You know, that's just kind of his character. But King Dedede nowadays is not really like a villain anymore. He's more of Kirby's buddy. And he was definitely looking a little off there. You know, someone been tampering with his head.
Well, I think he was still an enemy in Star Allies with Swole DDD, but I think he was also kind of possessed too. So it's kind of hazy where DDD stands. But
he's a goofy guy.
yeah, no, he definitely looked way off. Like his eyes were just sort of like dead when we saw him in like the end of the demo video that they had. And the environment was like really cool. It was like this sort of Dark Souls looking castle area with stained glass. It kind of reminds me of in Mario Odyssey where you fight that giant dragon.
Yeah, again, just the parallels to Mario Odyssey are everywhere.
Yeah,
They had to have taken inspiration from it, right?
I think no doubt.
Yeah, there's something going on there. Regarding the story and more on the enemies and stuff, we got these weird looking, they're rabbits, right?
I thought they were like dogs. They're like
they
weird
dogs?
dog. There's something. I don't know.
They're like weird something or other. I probably need to look at the footage again. But we got those guys, and in the cutscene, they're kidnapping the Waddle Dees, and then they also kidnap the new helper character for this game.
Yes, Alphalin.
Elflin. And every time in a Kirby game there's a happy, friendly looking helper guy, they end up becoming this absolutely demonic creature of chaos by the end game. So I think everyone's expecting this guy to be evil.
Yeah, they had a shot of him in the like after demo video where he sort of looked kind of like DDD, where he just sort of looked like dead. He was like kind of like torn up. He just sort of I don't even know how to explain it. He looked sort of like a paper mache version of himself, I guess is like how I would put it.
I thought that was like a doll, like it was a fake version of him
It
or
could
something.
be. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the developers at this point have to be aware that it's kind of a trope for Kirby's helpers to end up being evil. So I'm hoping they don't go that route so it isn't too obvious. But also, is anybody super invested in Kirby's lore? No, some people are. Some people, I've seen some YouTube videos. Some people really like Kirby's lore, so I won't diss on it too much.
Well, all right then.
We'll go easy on him. But I want to know what that guy's deal is. If he's just a friendly little guy, or I don't know.
Yeah, we know that he has like a bit of his ear torn off.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
The Waddle Dees get kidnapped alongside him in the beginning, so at the very least he's not allied with the villains of this game, or if he is, it's like some brilliant like 5D chess scheme on his part. If he's the mastermind, you know, he gets captured in front of Kirby so he can trick, I don't know, that seems like really ridiculous. I think maybe either he's not evil this time, or it's going to be like there are multiple evil parties, because I can't imagine that like these guys Kirby's fighting are putting everyone in cages are good guys, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's no way to explain that. And if they try and justify it by the end game, I mean, Kirby's been eating these guys the whole game, so that's kind of weird. I don't think there's any way to make those guys look innocent and still present Kirby as a hero at this game's conclusion. So I think it's inarguable that like the main enemies are going to be perceived as evil throughout the entire adventure.
You're really analyzing the story.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm just looking for things to talk about here, you know?
Yeah.
I just want to know everything there is to know. Actually, I don't. I want to play the game and be surprised. But it seems... See, I'm just fixated on this idea because so many people are like, he's evil, I don't trust him at all. And there are memes about this, right?
Oh yeah, he's the spawn of Satan.
He's the spawn of Satan. He's done everything wrong. He probably caused all the trouble, and he's probably the one who broke this dimension apart or whatever, right? But then why are they trying to capture him? That just doesn't make sense. Something's afoot. Something's afoot in Dreamland. Are we in Dreamland?
We're not in Dreamland. We're in the Forgotten Land.
We're in the Forgotten Land. Something's afoot in the Forgotten Land. I'm gonna play this game.
Yeah, I think I will too.
We're gonna play it together.
It's gonna be fun.
Am I gonna be Kirby, or are you gonna be Kirby, or are we gonna trade off?
Probably trade off. I was having a lot of fun with Waddle Dee. Like his different like moves that he have chain together like pretty nicely. You can do like some nice combos. So it was like pretty cool to play as him, but it'll probably get boring after a little while.
Yeah, I can imagine. He controls a lot like Kirby, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Just like Kirby with like a spear.
Okay, so yeah, just Kirby spear power basically from
Yeah.
other games.
So I'm hoping that Waddle Dee will also get like some, like whenever you get the evolved spear upgrade, hopefully he gets access to that too.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So that'll change up some things for player 2.
Do we have confirmation that Kirby can get a spear power up in this game? Because I know he has in past games, but I don't remember seeing it with Forgotten Land.
I have not seen it so far.
It might be possible that they intentionally didn't put it in, so Bandana D feels a little different.
I don't know, because Bandana D has been like available in other games, and they've had
They had spear there.
the spear there. So I think like Star Allies had it.
Yeah.
I think maybe Return to Dreamland also had it.
Well, I hope that it's a little bit more dynamic. This is a problem Nintendo often has with Player 2 stuff. Like, in the Mario Galaxy games, you just think about, like, how much more shallow Luma was compared to Mario, for example.
What, where you just collect star bits?
Well, you collect star bits in Mario 1, but in Mario Galaxy 2, you control Luma and you can, like, shake the Wii Remote and attack enemies and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that was pretty lame. Also, Player 2 from Mario Odyssey was pretty dull as well.
It's better than nothing, I guess, but Kirby and the Forgotten Land seems a lot better than Mario in that regard, but it's still something I'm a little concerned about, especially if this is going to be, you know, a full game. Kirby games don't tend to last too long, but if we're looking at, I would hope, an 8-hour adventure, right? Is that a reasonable wish?
Yeah, I think so.
Like an 8-hour adventure, I think it would really get dull on Player 2 if they were there the entire time for it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at one point you'll get, like, to play as Meta Knight or something.
That would be really cool.
And DDD, so
Yeah,
there's that.
like after you beat them, you can use them.
Yeah.
Just a little something to add some nuance to the gameplay, I think would go a long ways. We'll have to wait and see, though. I mean, the game's coming out in like a few weeks.
Yeah, it's 14 days away. I think it comes out March 26th.
That is of the time of this recording or when we release?
Of the time of this recording.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is March 12th, so 2 weeks exactly from today.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Are we picking this up launch day?
I don't know, do you want to?
I don't know. I don't like, alright, I liked it, but did I like it enough to spend $60 on it? I don't know. Then again, Nintendo games don't really go down in price.
No, I mean, you probably could get this at like $40 for like a holiday sale.
Yeah, if we just like wait a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I think I'm sold on wanting to play this game,
Right.
but it might be like a wait for reviews to see if it's worth $60 kind of game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
I'm also super cheap though, so it's fair. Anyway, any final thoughts you want to get out there?
No, I just had a really good time playing this game. I really enjoyed the levels, exploring, using the different powers. Mouthful mode was a blast, and I'm really excited for evolving copy abilities because I love Kirby 64, and that seems the closest we're gonna get.
I hope they're good.
I really hope it's a lot of fun.
Me too. All right, with that said, everyone, thank you for watching. Hope you have a good night or evening or day or whatever time it is. I shouldn't assume.
Bye.
Bye.